of classical music pieces. Because I have a really good memory for song lyrics. I can't sing, but at karaoke, I'm always the guy who's like, you can turn the subtitles off. I've never said that. I don't even think that's possible. But I probably could survive. However, I feel like it's a lot easier to remember the names of songs that say the name of the song in the song. Like you're listening to the Shins, and then you're like, oh, this song's kind of like good. What's its name? And then James Mercer is like, So Says I, and you're like, okay, this song's called So Says I. Practicing them for hours on end. I mean, I guess that's a good point. I didn't really get that far in my instrumental music career, but I do know the name of Hot Cross Buns, so that makes sense. Yeah, wow, this song's so good. I wonder what its name is. 'Cause I'm Mr. Brightside. Okay. Oh. Please, Mr. Brightside was my father. This is a bit of a bop, though. Okay. All right. Did you see Tim Burton's favorite band is the Killers? That's very funny to me. That's kind of a surprising answer. I'm not really a gambling man, but I would have bet a little bit of money that Tim Burton's favorite band was The Cure. Like, look at his movies, listen to The Cure, look at his appearance, look at Robert Smith's appearance. Like, it just seems like there's definitely like a Cure influence there. It would have been sick though if he was like Charlie XCX. No, it could have been the Smiths. Honestly, like, the Smiths musically, not with respect to their political opinions of their frontman, musically, the Smiths are too cool for Tim Burton. IMO. IMO. Tim Burton is not cool enough. That's just my 2 cents. Curtis Blow is his favorite. I wish I could know what Tim Burton sounded like, because an interview of Tim Burton talking about how much he loves Curtis Blow's basketball. Did you know basketball is my favorite sport? The Cure cooler than the Smiths? I don't know, cooler to hang out with? Probably. Seems like it would be like a real drag to hang out with Morrissey. Doesn't sound very pleasant. In terms of their music, I don't know. I gotta go with the Smiths. I like a lot of Cure songs, but I'm like, man. I mean, like, Just Like Heaven has got to be one of the best songs of the 80s, but the Smiths got a heck of a catalog, man. The more I see of him, the less I want to see of him. So true. Okay, just focus so we can get past this. They're both dog shit? That's just an insane take. Look, a lot of people were mad that I said yesterday, saved. If you gave me Bon Jovi tickets for free, I still wouldn't go to the concert. Like, you might still be mad about that, but there's no need to take it out on two of the best bands of the 1980s. Beautiful. Beautiful setup. I'm gonna be honest, like, my throat's a little messed up. I genuinely think there's two reasons why. One is because the baby hasn't been in daycare for a while, but she's in daycare this week. I feel like I'm not used to recording so many videos. So my throat is like, hey, what the heck? I thought we were done with all that stuff. So it's like, you know, it's got to build up the calluses down there again. But then the other reason is because I played Pokemon Showdown yesterday, and every 2 seconds I just shouted. Hello, Connor. This game looks cool. If you're familiar with Alt F4, I feel like it's that, but with a deliberate aesthetic instead of like an accidental aesthetic. Don't tell me my favorite album is the Garden State soundtrack. That hasn't been true since 2005, okay? But in 2005, it was very true. Like, extremely true. Yeah, then 2006, it probably, like, temporarily became Ease by Joanna Newsom, which, I mean, this is just a genuine classic. It'll bring a tear to your eye. Make sure you got a dictionary handy when you listen, though. It's not, you might think that that's a big commitment, but don't worry, it's only 5 songs. They're about 11 and a half minutes long each. Every single one sounds like something you'd hear on The Witcher show on Netflix, but you know what? It's, but better. They should have had Joanna Newsom play the bard on the Netflix Witcher show. That would have gone hard. That would have gone hard. It's been a while since we talked about Joanna Newsom. I think I wanted to keep it on the DL, because I was like, I've been listening to a lot of Joanna Newsom lately, and then people were like, how? Her music's not on Spotify? And I was like, it's on YouTube Music. And then they were like, oh, she doesn't approve of that. And I was like, whoa, never mind then. Just go back to the Cocteau Twins. Keep it on the DL, the BLJ. Most games give you a little window, like after your toes leave a platform, you can still press jump. This game has a genuine physics engine. It doesn't let you cheat. Coyote time? I don't know what that means. My God, we've made it. That's the thing you just described? Bro, I gotta be honest with you. I don't think I've ever seen, like, a video essay in my life, okay? Like, I'm 33. I kind of, like, I think I missed my window to be, like, to watch the same YouTube video essays that everybody else watches that have now just become, like, part of the common parlance of the day. Hold on. I just had to jump. You just have to jump. Watch the one on the lines at Disneyland. You know what? I actually have seen some Defunctland. I don't know if you'd call it a video essay, but I've seen some Defunctland because Jay reacted to it on his channel. So I saw the one about, like, the Disney Cool Zone or whatever, where they tried to make, like, a pseudo-digital theme park. I also think I never knew... What is that cursed Disney ride that's called, like, Hollywood Tour or something? Where you go on a simulated limo ride and then, like, Drew Carey pops out and is like, hey, I'm Drew Carey! It was, like, one of the most... the least successful rides in Disney's history. Hollywood Superstar Limo. Yeah, that's it. Superstar Limo. Oh, man. If that's a video essay, count me in. Not gonna make it, not gonna make it, man. Did you see the one about FastPass? I did not. Give me the TLDR on FastPass. It's poop. Not the video, I mean, you mean the concept? It's bad? Yeah, but why? It used to be good, now it's bad. It makes the wait times worse? Does it make the wait times worse for everybody, or just for people that don't hold the fast pass, though? Because I kind of thought that's what you pay for. For everyone? So you're telling me, if we took a base case where there was no fast pass, and this might be true, I'm not trying to pin you into a rhetorical corner. If there was a base case where there was no fast pass and it was just first come first serve, and then the secondary case was there's a fast pass and there's a normal line, the fast pass users in the second case would on average take longer to get to the front of the line than any average person if there was no fast pass, i.e. the base case. Yes. That's wild, man. Son of a bitch. Look, we've only got 48 minutes. We're gonna get to another... We're gonna get to another checkpoint. You'll definitely enjoy the video. It's 2 hours long. I can't, man. I just can't. It's just too much. Hit it from the backside this time. It's not even close. No, I don't want to watch it on stream. Not just for, like, you know, I don't think I would get DMCA'd for it. Don't get me wrong. But reacting is actually, like, more stressful for me. Because, like, when I play a game in banter, I can just talk about whatever pops into my head. I feel like when I react, I've got to be, like, so insightful, you know? I've got to be, like, more entertaining than something designed to be more entertaining than me in the first place. It's too much work. Like, you got to be on your A game. Like, Not for Broadcast took it out of me, man. I was just going, that's pretty true. Wow, haha, that's pretty true. Help. Oh, okay, he's done it. Only React content I want to do is, like, you know, video compilations of people, like, falling on the escalator. Not the elevator, that's disgusting. The escalator, absolutely. They hired an actual engineer to build a simulation for it. That's pretty wild. But now we have to realize as well, unfortunately, that now that we live in a fast-pass world, you're incentivized to buy the fast pass, right? Because I'm sure in case B, the people who don't have the fast pass are getting, like, double screwed, right? Yes. That's the problem. It used to be free. Okay, well, at least we didn't die of falling. Or you could just watch the video. I don't have, like, a lot of blocks in my life right now that are like, hey, here's 2 hours I can dedicate to a video essay. I'm tapped to the goddamn margins right now. So I am asking you for a TLDR. Help. I would watch a video like that about traffic, though. Because I genuinely, I'm like, I think that the roads, I'm probably in a lot of places in the world, but in Vancouver, I'm like, we have too many people in the city now. The roads don't work anymore. You could be stuck at like a left turn light, or not at a left turn light, but you could be stuck at an intersection trying to turn left for like 3 cycles of the light until you're just like, well, if I die, I die. And you just kind of like try to make like a California left or something like that. Saved. So I'm like, they gotta build bigger lanes. But then I'm like, if they build bigger lanes, then more people will drive cars. I mean, we got great public transit here, don't get me wrong. People still choose to drive, probably not to the extent that they would if the SkyTrain was ass, but it's not ass. The SkyTrain's kind of sick. More lanes equals bad? That doesn't feel right, though. Like, I know that that's the... No, I'm not patient. I think it's because drivers are dumb, and whenever they want... They go slower than they want to go. They don't realize that by changing lanes, they're not even going to speed up. They're only going to cause everybody behind them to have to slow down. I think we gotta, after you finish like your safe driving classes, like here's how to drive and not die, and here's how to like drive, like here's how to park, here's how to back into shit, you know what I mean? Here's how to pull out of shit, here's how to parallel park. We gotta do like a guaranteed mandatory class that is like, here's why you shouldn't drive like an asshole. Because it actually is just making everybody's life harder, including your own. Like, I hate when I'm in traffic on the highway. I know you are traffic, but I'm just building a moment here. And then, like, I'm going 5 under the speed limit, because the guy in front of me is going 5 under the speed limit. And then the person in the other lane is going 4 under the speed limit, and every car behind me is like, ring, and gets into the other lane. I'm like, just do the calculus. If we drove for an hour, you would be like less than a minute ahead of me. And you've changed lanes 70 times. Not to mention, you're driving like a lifted Dodge Ram. Like, every time you push the accelerator, it's probably like 30 cents in gas. And for once, you can't blame it on Biden because you're driving with an iron boot on. I will say, though, I genuinely don't drive like an asshole. I'm being serious with you. I wouldn't bet on myself, you know, in the Are You Canada's Best Driver competition, but I don't drive like an asshole. However, on the way back from Whistler, the car in front of me at one of the stoplights in Squamish, light turned green. I saw through their window that the dude was like rooting around in his center console. Rooting around, not hitting go, was just about to hit my horn. Something I do very sparingly. Then he started to go. As soon as I saw the real estate, zoomed right past him and even gave him a little look like, try to keep up. That felt good. But that was literally just like, you know, I mean, there's just some things you don't do in a car. One of them is not go when the light turns green. It's not that you cost me time, is that like, you know, literally you're like at the front of a line with 50 people behind you and you're like, oh, is it my turn? And you're like, yeah, that's what the green light means, man. That's what the green light means. Hey, what's the deal with flashing green lights in Ontario? One of the reasons that I became a streamer is because, like, if I could just save one life, it will have all been worth it. So here's something that I learned, not the hard way, thankfully, but I'm happy I learned it before it became the hard way. In Ontario, at the time that I got my driver's license, a flashing green light is the way that they indicate that if you're turning left, you're protected. It's the same as the left arrow, but it's for traffic lights that don't have that fourth circle where they have a left arrow on it. Now, in British Columbia, a flashing green light means that it's just a green light, but at any moment, a pedestrian could hit a button and make the light turn yellow. So it's basically a warning sign that's like, hey, this is green, but it could change at any given moment. So if you're driving from Ontario to British Columbia, and you find yourself looking at a flashing green light, preparing to turn left and wondering why none of the cars in the other direction are slowing down, it's because the rules are different and that driver will kill you if you turn left. Not out of malice, but because you're actually the one that's ignorant of the rules. Hello, Simvicta. Hello. Help me. A little bit of a log jam here. Why wouldn't you just make the thing come down and send the boulder up, man? What was I thinking? Got 38 minutes till races. Dude, I've been stuck here for too long. I agree it should be standardized. I would actually like British Columbia to adopt the Ontario model, because I feel like in Vancouver especially, we just don't have enough protected left lights. So like if you ever want to turn left, you basically become like public enemy number 1 on the road. Like, God help you if you try to turn left anywhere on Kingsway between like 8:30 a.m. and 7 p.m. You're gonna induce people to commit violence. Even if you're like, but I gotta get into Magic Stronghold! Friday Night Magic starts soon! Great gather step? Okay. Great gather step. Great gather step. That's what, if you ask Bear what he thinks about Vancouver, I think his, like, exact words will be like, wow, beautiful city. Really gorgeous. Weather's super nice. Not a single left turn lane or left turn light in the whole fucking area. And he's not wrong. You don't really even get used to it. You just sort of learn to cope. Like, what you do is you never go, oh, I'll get in the left lane, it's going faster, because you know the left lane is not populated as much because of the fact that at any moment somebody would be like, I'm turning left onto Helmkin, and then you get stuck behind them for like, you know, 10 minutes. Because nobody's going to let him in. Good. Good. He's doing it. One more. Okay. Easier to take 3 rights then? It's probably easier. I don't know. It depends on the situation. Because, like, on some of... I mean, like, now we're getting way too local posting. But on Kingsway, which is where this is a problem to begin with, if you end up taking 3 rights, the problem is you might end up having to go straight against the flow of traffic with no light to help you. You might end up at one of those major thoroughfares that's like, hey, we just have like a stop sign for you, and no lights for the traffic that's running in the other direction. Okay, hold on. I'm a God gamer. I'm still a God gamer. Don't mess up. Kingsway on foot, kind of scary. Let's go! Look at that walk, too. Honestly, like, if I can pierce the veil of me being a total asshole. Okay. The reason that jaywalking actually annoys me is because as a driver, like, in many parts of the world, including where I live, you got, like, a lot of shit to watch out for, man. Like, you're watching out for the bike lane, you're watching out... Oh, okay, have fun. You're watching out for people trying to, like, hit behind you and stuff like that. I don't know what's going on. My wife is just standing in the door doing the robot with their mask on and not saying anything. Okay. So that's why jaywalking annoys me. It's like less like, oh, they took my turn, and way more like, bro, I got like 70 variables at all times, like in my head right here. And you're just like, I just want to go to the BC liquor store. And I'm like, well, we all gotta get places. It's not about priority, it's about safety. Just life stuff. So true, so true. Okay, right here, right here. Saved. Storm King? Nope, that's not how you're gonna do that one. A lot of people jaywalk like idiots. I mean, a lot of people drive like idiots too. I don't necessarily feel the need to draw like a false equivalency. But I did unfollow somebody on Twitter. And it wasn't just to be petty. It was just because, like, this isn't what I signed up for. But, like, Quebec released an anti-jaywalking PSA that just showed, like, x-ray footage of people getting hit by buses and all their bones exploding. And then somebody I follow, like, quote-tweeted it and was like, fun fact, did you know 100% of car accidents are caused by people owning cars? And I was just like, all right, see ya. Like, I'm not sure. Okay, you're not wrong. Did you know 100% of all deaths are caused by people being born in the first place? Like, I am very smart. That was needlessly, like, a personal attack. But I'm like, okay, wow, what a genius idea. Well, we would just stop all car accidents if cars didn't exist. How am I supposed to get to work if I work 35 minutes away from where I live? Oh, they'll just build, like, the train line. Oh, that should only take a second. Any minute now, that'll be done. Leave earlier with the horse and carriage. You know, you gotta realize we all gotta work together here. Help, help, help. Like, I don't care if you jaywalk as long as you do it in such a way that it gives me a 0% chance to hit you with my car. I'm just saying, if I ever see this person hop into a damn car, I got the tweet screenshotted. This you? This you? This you? Oh, you don't understand. I really need to take an Uber to get from point A to point B. I need to... This you? Oh, it seems you have some problems with capitalism, despite existing within it. Very curious. I'm very smart, by the way. This is me. I'm making fun of myself. It's just one of those stances that I'm like, you're right, but like, what do you want to do about it? Like, we live in a city, like Vancouver has like really, really good public transit. People still complain about it all the time because they don't know how lucky they got it. And then people are like legit like, just don't own a car, forehead. And I'm like, that's not possible for like a lot of people. Like, the average person that owns a car, I don't think they're going like, I bought a car because I love cars. I think they're like, you know, I don't live close to a SkyTrain station or a major bus line, so it takes me 3 hours to get from Surrey to downtown Vancouver via public transit. Whereas if I just bought a car, I could do it in 45 minutes and listen to a podcast. They love walking so much. Why are they so bad at it? Just go to a crosswalk. Drake's in the chat, please. Drake's in the chat. You could listen to 3 podcasts on the bus. You're not wrong. That is true. What if I told you, though, that the bus driver hates jaywalkers, too? Like, that would put you in a very strange political position, wouldn't it? I am very smart, yet again. As someone who works in traffic design, discourse like this makes my work a nightmare. Just shut up. That's not true. Discourse like this makes your job a nightmare. That's the worst part of your job, the discourse? What are you, a professional poster? Surely you have bigger problems at work than Twitch discourse about urban planning. That just doesn't compute on like a logical level. People talking about your job is the worst part of your job? Join the fucking club. We're on, it's called Life. It meets at the bar. I didn't have to, everyone always goes, whenever I respond to a comment, people are like, wow, he chose violence today. People, they leave like insane comments in chat that are designed to be like aggressive. And then when you reply with a similar amount of aggression, people are like, you know, it'd be nice if you smiled more. Don't you see how fucked up this is? You know, you'd be cuter if you smiled more. All right, well, start leaving some smile-worthy comments in the chat then, instead of suggesting that my ignorant takes on urban planning are making your job a nightmare. Surely, like, permits or something is making your job a nightmare. Like a lack of funding, sure. Bursting a water main in the middle of, like, building the new subway track. Like, these are things that actually would make your job a nightmare, I'm sure. One asshole on Twitch being like, I wish that there were protected left turn lights in my city. That makes your job a nightmare. That's insanity. Are you an urban planner, like, in Sim City? I'm not asking you to agree with me. I'm just asking you not to lie. All right, I'm over it. We can be friends again. Just, instead of being rude, why don't you just, like, educate me and be like, as an urban planner, actually, we can't put in more protected lights because for every one person that turns left on a protected left, that's 6 people that get delayed by 15 seconds trying to go straight. So actually, the flow simulation, like, looks better if we just leave it as all greens. Like, that's something I would be like, huh, that's interesting. But when people are just like, as an urban planner, this is a bad take. I'm like, well, you spent 8 years in urban planning school in Bergen. Don't be shy. Share some of the knowledge that the government paid you to learn. I would love to add something to my lexicon and bring it up in banter, like, you know, 3 years down the road and be like, sorry, I know I've told this story before, but did you know this cool thing about urban planning? Help, help, help. Son of a bitch. I'm in outer space. I'm gonna be manning the cannons next. You want to learn about traffic lights? I love learning about the systems that underpin the real world we take for granted. Grocery store design. You know, why aren't there traffic lights? What's the deal with angled parking spots? And why are they so small? Son of a bitch. Like, one of the things I talk about all the time is I genuinely think that if you run, like, if you are a sports stadium, you are making your bathrooms worse by jamming in more urinals and not having privacy blinders in between them. I think I would love it if every bathroom for men was a stall, much like it is in the women's bathrooms. However, I don't think that that necessarily would make bathrooms more efficient. It would just make them more comfortable. So it depends what attribute you're trying to optimize for. But at the very least, anytime I go to, like, you know, Rogers, actually I think Rogers Arena actually has blinders, but like when you're in the Washington State Convention Center at PAX and it's just like 12 dudes on each wall lined up like elbow to elbow pissing without even like a wooden divider between them, I'm like, I bet the throughput suffers as a result of the lack of privacy blinders. I bet it takes 50% of men, myself included, 5 seconds longer to get the laminar flow started as a result of like being in their own head about it. And if you just threw up like a $20 piece of wood between each urinal and took out like 2 urinals, you would get more people through per hour than you do right now. You gotta wait for this one. Trough is also pretty bad. Oh, that's not how you do that. How about a trough with privacy dividers? Honestly, like, I'm not worried about where the piss is going. I'm only worried about the privacy element, just because it allows me to enter like my own meditative state to get the piss to start to come out. That's like, if you get, this is honest. If you gave me a choice between an elbow to elbow urinal in a nice, you know, tiled bathroom with music playing and stuff like that, versus a private porta potty that smells like porta potties do, I would probably rather use the porta potty, because at least I can be by myself in the porta potty. I'm making it. I'm making it. All right, you gotta wait for that one. You get piss anxiety? Not really, but I would say, like, if you put me in a private bathroom, if you put me in a private bathroom, it's coming out, you know, as soon as it touches the air, right? If I'm elbow to elbow with a fellow Canucks fan, or God forbid, a Calgary Flames fan, I'm gonna say 6 seconds. 6 seconds to get started. Which doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but considering the average piss might be like 30 seconds or less, that's like a 20% efficiency penalty. It makes the bathroom worse for everybody involved, and there's dozens of us. Okay, you gotta wait for this one. Take this one right away. Thank you. Don't wait for that one. Get to the end. Piss in the stall. Yeah, but sometimes, like, they don't have most bathrooms, you don't end up with a stall line and a urinal line. I don't like to be the guy at the front of the line that's like a urinal opens up and then somebody behind me is like, you know, hey, there's a spot. And then I go, I'm waiting for a stall, actually. I don't want him to think I'm shitting at the Canucks game. That's a whole different ball of wax. Why? It's just private information. But if you need the shit at the Canucks game? I think the only place outside of my own domicile or like a hotel room where I've ever had to dump in public is at like an airport. Because sometimes, you know, you didn't treat yourself super nice the night before and then you got like an 8 a.m. flight. Ripped to the toilets at SFO, but you got like a demon inside of you that you gotta get out. Otherwise, on like a normal day, I go to the bathroom in the morning, you know, I pee or I poop in the morning, I usually find myself not having to go for the rest of the day. I work from home, so it's easy enough. But I'll be honest with you, and with God as my witness, this is my legitimate take right now. We're like 10 years of streaming in or something ridiculous, right? I don't think I've ever gone poop during an ad break. It's never come up. That aspect of my life is just handled. Like it's pretty much on point. Maybe if I was like sick or something like that, it could have happened, but it's seriously like a 1 in 5 years sort of thing. I've got my digestive system, I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's at least regular. Like, it's not a Rolex, but it keeps time. Mine's unleaded. Try 80. Okay, try 80. I lost my gallbladder at a young age, so pooping in public just part of my life. I'm a little, like, I guess I wouldn't say I'm jealous of that, because that's an insane take. Takes like that make my life a nightmare. But I'm at least jealous that you were kind of, like, forced to get over it. Like, in a way, that's how I feel about baldness. Occasionally, 8 or 9 times a stream, you'll see a message in chat that is like, hey, NL, I think I'm going bald. Any advice? And sometimes I answer it, sometimes I don't, just because, you know, it comes up so often. Oh! I think for me, I kind of got lucky. Like, I got unlucky that I went bald at such a young age, or was balding at such a young age. But that, in its own way, made the choice for me. Because, you know, you're 19 years old, you're in college. I'm not going to, like, you know, take out an OSAP loan just to get, like, modafinil and then fly to Turkey and get, like, a hair transplant like Jeremy Piven or something like that, right? Like, you just got to kind of send it. And in its own way, you know, that's freedom. Because, you know, people are like, oh, aren't you, like, worried that people will realize you're bald? And you're like, what are you going to do? I don't really have a choice in the matter. So I think it was a, in its own way, that was kind of freeing. So I'm not saying I would like to get my gallbladder removed so that I have to get used to pooping in public. But it would help, I guess. At least, if you can't help but do it, then you have to get over it, I suppose. It makes the decision whether or not to jump off the diving board for you. We got 17 minutes. I don't think there's a shot that we're getting another checkpoint, man. I don't think there's a shot. Anyone else just get scared by Chiblee? Dude, honestly, Chiblee, are you here? I know our races start soon. You might be here. I was a little mad yesterday when I was thinking for something to... I was looking for something to watch on Twitch. And then I saw that, like, some of the lads from the crew were playing Project Zomboid. And then when I clicked on the stream, I heard Chiblee talking about Project Zomboid, like a Let's Player. I'm like, bro, what are you doing playing Project Zomboid like a normal human being and not being live playing something insane and bantering? Like, I'm so not used to hearing Chib be like, oh, there's a screwdriver in this drawer. At least phrase it like, anybody else just find a screwdriver in this door, or just me? But he was like, he wasn't even Chib, he was just like whatever his birth name is. He was not doing the stream as the character of Chiblee. Okay. There's a chance. Can you repeat the last hour of the stream for me? I had some bad takes on urban planning. Actually, I have a very based, obvious take on urban planning. Less people should drive so that I can get where I want to go faster in my car. No, he double tapped! Like, here's my take, okay? Less people should drive. Based. What the fuck, he's based? But I'm still gonna drive. But less people should drive because it's bad for the environment and also it slows me down. What were you saying about me? Chibli, I said it was bizarre yesterday to watch Rob stream, and you were playing Project Zomboid, but you weren't playing as Chibli. You were just like playing as a guy. You weren't talking about, you know, Gordon Ramsay or anything like that. You were just like, oh, I have some bed sheets if you need some. It was, I'm not used to hearing Chib as just like as just a dude. It's almost like we should focus on public transport instead of roads. We do that in Vancouver. You're preaching to the choir. I'm already living your utopian dream. I'm just saying, like, once you get here, it's not perfect. You know, where they're building that new Broadway line. They're introducing a tax to actually, like, drive in the city center. Like, anytime you enter the capital district of Panem, you're gonna have to pay, like, $7 to the city or something like that. They've turned every single street into, like, local traffic only, plus bike lanes, which is great, don't get me wrong. I just want to be able to, like, turn left on my way home from daycare. That's all I'm saying. But now you got me thinking about this 3 rights situation. It might be possible. It might be possible. Help. I live in Prague and I've never wanted a car in my life. Well, maybe like Prague is idyllic, but there's incredible Korean restaurants out in like Kladno. That would be a situation where having a car would be sick. Is like, what if you're craving some delicious like Korean food, or what if you wanted to go to like Hanam or H Mart or something like that, but not one of the ones downtown that's just kind of like a suboptimal facsimile or something like that? Take public transport? Nah, I'll probably just take Highway 1. But I won't be changing lanes that much. I'm just saying, Chad, if I ever see you in a car, I got the this use ready to go, man. Getting to Kladno by public transport is very fast. Nobody gave me credit for knowing a second city in Czechia. And that's fucked up. The average North American probably doesn't even know Prague is in Czechia. I came up with another city off the top of the dome piece because I followed Jaromir Jagr's career and played Paradox games, and literally nobody was like, wow, how did he know Kladno? It's so fucked up. I thought Prague was in the Netherlands. Takes like that turn my job into a nightmare. Actually, they kind of make it a lot easier, to be honest. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Believe? There's got to be a check. Okay, okay. I can deal with this. I can still deal with this. I don't even think that would hit me, but... Whoop! I see a checkpoint. And a little silhouette of a man on it. Don't let them trick you. No! I saw the guillotine, but I just got hit by a random bluebee. I just like, okay, here's where I'm at, okay? Because I think some people might feel alienated by this conversation. But it's just like, okay, and maybe what I'm about to say is actually ruder. This is a moment for unity, not division, but what I'm about to say is ruder. But like, if your civic political stance is like, cars should be outlawed, I'm like, we have no middle ground to have a discussion. Because that's just, there's so many like moving parts in society that have to be adjusted in order to create a world where that's even possible. So when people are just like, there should be no cars, I'm like, well, I mean, like, that would be nice, but not in the current world in which we live, because people would have their entire lives completely fucked. At least in North America. I just think there's other things we should outlaw first. Like Bluetooth speakers. There should be 90% less cars? I don't even think that's true. Like, you could definitely make the case that nobody where I live necessarily needs a car. But there's a lot of people that, like, I mean, if you live in a village that has like 500 people in the middle of North Dakota, like, what? So you're basically saying like that person should be forced to move. What do you want me to call it if it's not a village? There's 500 people. A hamlet? A township? Township has a different meaning up here. Did he go off on Bluetooth? No, just Bluetooth speakers in public. Instead, as long as we're talking about a fantasy world, what about the government just pivoting all of its energy production to be green energy and then giving one electric car to every citizen? How about that? As long as we're talking about things that are essentially impossible to do, that makes more sense to me. What about long road trips? I don't know, just keep like a jerry can full of AAA batteries in the back. We don't have enough lithium? Surely we could kick that can like a decade down the road if everybody donated their desk drawer full of old smartphones and then we just harvested the lithium out of those. I got like, you know, at least 3 or 4 smartphones from 2012 to 2019 just sitting in my desk drawer. I would be happy to donate my lithium. No way, those are mine? Son of a bitch. Hey, Nevs, thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. Thank you. I don't think you can recycle lithium. We should invent a way to do that. Or synthetic lithium. Or, wait, you know what? We got way too much carbon dioxide, right? What if we just started making cars that run on atmospheric carbon dioxide? Get 2 birds stoned at once. I actually am working for Cray-Merica Industries right now. What about ketchup and mustard in the same bottle? Okay, that was a direct hit. Try 100. Try 100 coming soon. Maybe we'll turn gold. Literally, it's already being researched. So what you're saying is it's a good idea. Many people said it was a bad idea. Well, now it turns out it's already being researched, so... Well. Looks like you're the ones who need to watch some more video essays. Here we go. Don't try to trick me into not realizing that buses exist. What if we just used really large cars that could hold a lot of people and went to like spots that were in... I'm so pro public transit. I love the SkyTrain. That's why all of my alt accounts are called I love the SkyTrain Bill in YVR. That's what I used to comment on CTV articles. Oh, son of a bitch. I'm just, when people are like, people should drive less, I'm like, that's extremely based. When people are like, cars shouldn't exist, I'm like, okay. Is your name Tattoo? Because I swear to God, we're living on Fantasy Island right now. +2, thank you. That's from A Night at the Roxbury. Appreciate it. I don't know the reference. It's from A Night at the Roxbury. What time is it? 10:55? I'm gonna give it one more try, because I gotta go to the bathroom before we do these races. I gotta prepare myself for the... Let's go cinematic cam, man. You ready for this? Cinematic cam. Beautiful. Built-in machinima tools. Okay, well, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Honestly, though, I had a great time and will 100% be returning to Knight's Try.